So what is the database?
The collection of interrelated data.
Collection of interrelated data. What are the different types of relations we have?
One-to-one,
one-to-many, many-to-many.
One-to-one and one-to-many and many-to-many relationships. Okay, what is the different? What is the table? Table is a logical object or it is a physical object?
Logical object.
It's a logical representation. So the logical data. So that means actually, so I cannot say it's a logical data, but the data stored in a database is in the form of zeros and ones. Okay, so the data stored in a files. We see here, see the data stored. These are the files, .dbf files. So in the file, we cannot read these files. These files are the zeros and ones only. That's why the logical. So the logical representation table is the data with the rows and the columns. Okay, the rows represents the data and columns describes the characteristics of a data. Everybody is clear?
Yes.
Okay. So now we have seen. Okay, so we have seen the database. How many users we can have in a single database? How many users we can have in a database?
One or more users.
How many users we can have in a database?
Multiple.
Okay, but each user is uniquely identified by its username and password. So the name of a username is unique and its password is unique. Okay, let's see. What is the language we will be using for communicating with the database? What is the language?
SQL.
SQL. So the SQL language is the language for communicating with the database. Okay, let's see. We have seen. So first of all, why we need a database? Okay, we have seen the database. We have seen the structure. We have seen the introduction of a Oracle and components required for connecting to a Oracle. Okay, but okay, so what is the advantage of database? What is the advantage of databases? Okay, the first point is the data independence. The data independence. That means, okay, application program and the database are two different entities. If you change in the application, no need to change in the database. Okay, so the advantages is the data dependence and concurrency control. What is the meaning of concurrency? What is the meaning of concurrency?
You can probably write and read, or just stopping, reading when you are writing the data. Is that what you mean by concurrency control?
Concurrency means accessing the data multiple users at the same time. So I can access the same table data and you can access the same table data. Any other person can access the same table data. I can access, you can insert, another person can update. So three people simultaneously, concurrently can do the manipulation operations on the database at a time, but without affecting one another. Okay, I can select, you can insert, and others can update. The concurrency control. Who is responsible for this controlling the operations? So that is the DBMS. So the DBMS, Oracle DBMS. DBMS, that's why I told in the last class. What is a DBMS? DBMS is nothing but the set of programs. Okay, what are the functionality of the program? The programs for creating the database and manipulation and maintaining the database. It contains a lot of programs. One of the programs responsibility is to control the concurrency. So I can access and you can insert, another person can update, and other person can delete. Okay, and security. Okay, this is the important part. The security. So Oracle database provides high level security of your data. High level security of the data. And third one is easy retrieval. easy retrieval of data. So that means what is the language we can use for selecting the data? What is the language?
SQL language.
SQL is the language for easy retrieval of the data. So the data independency and eliminates the duplicate data. So we don't need to put the same information in the multiple tables. Okay, so the data duplicate is very important. So that it eliminates the duplicate of the data, duplicated data. So we don't need to create the same copies of data in multiple tables. So that should be the single point of data. We can have only the name in one table. We cannot have the name in multiple tables. Everybody is clear? So the data independency and concurrency control and security, easy retrieval of data, it eliminates the duplicated data. So these are the 4 main advantages of DBMS. DBMS means it is a Oracle or SQL server or any database. Everybody is clear? Or do you want me to explain one more time on these topics? 4. Abhiram, Harita, Kiran.
I'm good.
Clear, sir.
Everybody is clear?
Yes.
So the data independency, concurrency control and security, easy retrieval, and it eliminates the duplicated data. These are the 4 very important the concept, the advantages of the database. Okay, so the disadvantages is the complexity, costly, and the size. We need to maintain the main is the cost oriented. So the Oracle is expensive. The data maintaining the Oracle database is little bit of expensive because it's a security software, the most secure software. Okay, so let's see. What is a SQL? What are the main important points of a SQL language? What are the main 3 points of a SQL language? What we discussed yesterday?
Command oriented language.
Yes. So the SQL stands for it's developed in 1970 at IBM. The first introduced in IBM. Okay. Developed at 1970 at IBM. The structured query language for communicating with the database. That means so the same SQL language for communicating with any RDBMS, Oracle, SQL Server, Teradata, Sybase, MS SQL, and HSQL database. Everything is the same. Okay, so SQL is a command-oriented language. It's not a procedural language. The command-oriented language, not a procedural language. Procedural language means it's a C or C++ or something. It's not a procedural language. So what is the meaning of command oriented language and procedural oriented language? In a procedure oriented language, we need to write a logic for your application. We need to write a logic. But in a command oriented language, we are not responsible for the logic. We need only what we want. See here. Let's see simple example. Select star from scott.emp. I'm executing a query to get the data. My aim is to get the data from employee table. That's it. I'm not specifying the logic behind how we are going to get the data. But simply I'm executing select star from employee. I'm not executing what we need. Okay. See here, just I'm specifying my requirement, what I need. I'm not specifying the logic. So that means opening, reading the record by record and everything. That's why it's not a procedural language. In a procedural language or C or C++ or Java, we need to write a code. But here, we don't need to write a code. The SQL is a command oriented language. And every command ends with a semicolon. That's a very important thing. And another point is the SQL language is not a case sensitive. One important point is the SQL language is not a case sensitive. But one point you need to remember is the data stored in Oracle tables is case sensitive. The data in a table is case sensitive. That means the capital letter Smith and the small letter Smith are different. The data inside the table is case sensitive. but not the command. Everybody is clear? Okay. Clear? Yes or no, please?
Yes, sir.
Yes, clear.
Everybody. Shravani
Yeah,
garu.
clear.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah, clear.
Okay.
yes, yes.
Now let's see. So the SQL is a command oriented language, right? But what are the different types of commands we have in a database? What are the different types of a SQL? Everything in SQL is a command. Everything in SQL is a command. But what are the different types of a commands we have in a SQL? Anybody have any idea?
DBMS, DDL, I mean, DD.
Yes. Okay, so the following are the first command type is DDL commands and DML, TCL, DCL, and fifth one is data retrieval. Okay, so the data retrieval. So these are the 5 categories of command: DDL, DML, TCL, DCL, and data retrieval. The DDL stands for the data definition language. Data definition language. And the DML stands for the data manipulation. Data manipulation. And TCL stands for the transaction control. And DCL stands for the data control language. And the data retrieval is for getting data from tables. Okay, getting data from tables. So DDL, data definition language, DML, data manipulation language, and TCL, transaction control language, and DCL, the data control language. Is a fifth one is the data retrieval language. Okay, so now Oracle is a database. Okay, so we know Oracle is I will explain one by one and what are the different commands in each one. Okay, Oracle is the database. Okay, the database is nothing but a collection of data, right? Collection of interrelated data. Interrelated data. Okay, in Oracle, data stored in tables. Data stored in tables. But what is a table? Table is a object with rows and a column. Here I am saying table is a object. That is, table is a object with rows and columns. Rows and columns. Okay, the rows represents the data and column describes the characteristics of data. Characteristics of data. Okay, one important point here is an object. Okay, it's an object. It stores the data. Okay, the object. We are going to create that object. Okay, let's see. We are going to create a table. First thing is table. That is nothing but an object in a database. Table need to create. So once the table created, we can insert or update or delete data. Okay, so now after inserting the data, okay, did we successfully inserted, yes or no? Do you want to make the changes permanently or we want to delete remove the transaction? Okay, so do you want to save the changes, yes or no? See here, first thing is, so first we created a table and then we are inserting or updating or deleting a data. So here I am changing the data of a table. Here we are changing data of a table. Okay. And so now whatever changes we did, those changes, do we need to save the changes or not? And fourth one is, okay, who can access my table? Who can access? See, I created a table. I want to give access to Abhiram. I want to give an access to Kiran. I want to give access to Shalini. So that means I want to create a access. So once after creating an access, finally we are going to verify the data. Verify data. Okay, so verifying, how can I verify a data? After inserting, we can see the data in a table, whether created or not. The data insertion completely successful or not. Let's see, these are the 5 steps. Okay, so object needs to be created. So that means we are creating an object in a database. That can be done with the DDL. So the data definition language is for creating an object. Okay, so the data definition. So the table is one example of an object. We have so many objects. See here on the right hand side here. So left hand side, table, views, indexes, packages, procedures, functions, queues, triggers, types, sequences, synonyms, database link. These are all called as different types of an objects. So the table is one example because we have not discussed all these objects. That's why I'm giving a table. Table needs to be created. That means an object. We are creating an object. Then it's a data definition language. Okay, the data definition language is for creating an object. Okay, so now the data definition language is for the DDL. Data definition language. Okay, the data definition language is for creating or is for create. We can create, we can alter, that means we can modify. Okay, so we can drop a table, we can truncate, and we can rename a table. We rename an object. We can rename. So the data definition language is for modifying the database objects. See here, I'm not saying the data inside a table, the data inside a view. Okay, so the database object, the data definition language is for modifying the database object. So the create command is for creating any command, creating a database object. So that means what are the different types of a database object? If you see here, all these are the database object. Table is a database object, view is a database object, index is a database object, the package is a database object, function is a database object, trigger is a database object, type is a database object, the sequence, okay, the database links, all these things are the different database object. If you see any command which starts with a create, that means we are going to create a database object. Alter is for, okay, modifying structure of a database object. Modifying structure of a database. That means we can add a new columns. We can drop a column. We can modify. What are the options of alter? We will see while discussing the complete details of a alter command. Okay, alter. If anybody asks you what is the purpose of a alter command, alter command is for modifying a structure of a database object. It can be used for table, it can be used for a view, it can be used for an index, it can be used for procedure, function, trigger, and everything. And similarly, the create is also can be used for all the operations. Okay, so now this is for dropping. These are the commands: create command, alter command, drop command, truncate command, rename command. Is for dropping a database object. Okay, so I created a table, but I don't want the table. Accidentally created a table. I want to drop the table. Accidentally created a table. I want to drop that table. Okay, so truncate. The drop command is for dropping a table, dropping a view, dropping an index, dropping a package, dropping a view, dropping a database link, sequence, synonym. Any object can be dropped. Is for truncating a table only. So the truncate command is for table only. Truncate command is only for table. Is for, that is, the truncate means deleting all data from a table. All data from a table. So the truncate command is for truncating table only. So it's deleting all data from table. So it is for renaming an object. We can rename a one name to another name. Renaming an object. We can use the rename for any database object. So out of these 5 operations, so the basic DDL commands are create. See, we can create a table, we can create a view, we can create an index, we can create a package. What is view, what is index, what is sequence, what is synonym, we will see in the following classes. Okay, don't worry about that one in today's class. Create command is for creating database object. Alter command is for modifying a structure of a database object. And the drop command is for dropping a database object. Truncate is only for the table. Truncate is only for the table. And the rename is for renaming an object. Everybody is clear? Everybody is clear?
Yes.
Okay. So now the table is a database object, is for the data definition. The data definition means something related to database object, not related to data available in that object. Okay. So now see here, we can insert, we can update and delete the data. So now we are going to handle the data. We are not handling the structure of an object. We are handling the data inside an object. That is nothing but a, so the DML, the data manipulation. We are going to manipulate the data. DML. So the data manipulation language is for inserting, updating, deleting a data. Inserting, updating and deleting data from a table. Okay, all 3 operations combinedly called as the data manipulation. If anybody asks you what is the data manipulation, the data manipulation is nothing but a operations on the data. So what are the operations we can do? Inserting, updating and deleting a table. Okay, what are the commands for the DML? And insert command, and update command, and delete command, and merge command, and 5th one is insert all command. Okay, insert all command. Insert command, update command, delete command, and merge command, and insert all command. So the insert is for inserting data into table.
Vinayagar, don't we
Yes.
have modify statement?
Sorry?
Don't we have modify?
We don't have modify, is nothing but update, right?
Yeah, but it does both, right?
What is the meaning of modify?
The record is not there, it normally should even insert, right?
That is nothing but a merge command. So merge is a combination of insert and update. In Oracle, there is no command with the name modify.
Okay.
So the data manipulation, the modification of a data means it can be insert, it can be update, or it can be delete, right?
Yeah, okay, got it.
That's why we have 3 different commands.
Okay.
Okay, update is for updating data. data of existing table. So existing data, see here, the salary of a Smith is 2800. So now I want to change his salary to 3000. So I'm increasing his salary. Okay. Yeah, somebody is asking a doubt. Anybody have any doubts, please? Anybody have any doubts? Hello? Okay. So is for deleting data from a table. Is for deleting data from a table. Okay, insert is inserting data into single table. Update is for updating data of an existing table. That means insert, update, delete operates on single table only at any point of time. I cannot insert the data into two tables using single insert. I cannot update the data of two tables using update. Delete, I can delete the data from single table only. If anybody asks you to, can I write a delete statement for deleting data from two tables at a time? It is not possible. We need to write a two delete commands, two update commands, two insert commands. Okay, everybody is clear? So it's only one table at a time only. Okay, so now merge command is a combination of insert plus update. So that means if a record is already there, update, else insert, update, else insert. Simply say update, else insert. That means if a record is already there, update it. If the record is not there, insert it. At the same time, from 10G R2, release R2 onwards, using merge, we can delete as well. That's a very important operation. So the merge statements, the basic functionality of a merge statement is to insert plus update in a single table. That means update, else insert. If a record is already there, then update, else insert operation. Okay, so from Oracle 10G R2 onwards, the release. Okay, Oracle 10G R2. 10G is the version and R2 is the release 2. In 10G, release 2, R1, R2, release 1 and release 2. From 10G R2 onwards, using a merge, we can delete as well. That means single merge statement, it can do insert, update as well as a delete as well. And insert all is for inserting data into multiple tables. So that means multi-table insert. Multi-table insert. Either conditionally or unconditionally. Okay. This is very important. These two are very important. We will discuss these two in whenever I am starting the insert, update or delete. Either conditionally or unconditionally. Okay, so the insert all is for inserting the data into table, is for updating data of existing table, delete is for deleting data, and merge. These are all the different commands. Create command, alter command, drop command, truncate command, rename command. Okay, these are all the DDL category. Insert command, update command, delete command, merge command, and insert all in the DML category. Okay, so now let's see here. The third operation is, do you want to save the changes? Yes or no? Okay, I inserted a data, but I don't want to make the changes permanent. I inserted a data, but I don't want to make the changes permanent. I can revert back to the previous state, or I can save it. That is nothing but so the transaction control language, that is nothing but the TCL. So we are doing some operations. Those operations are called as a set of operations are called as a transaction. So we can make those changes on database To save to save permanently or no is for the transaction control. To save the changes in database permanent or not, the TCL, the transaction control. Transaction control language is for making changes permanent and database or not. Changes means transactions, whatever we do with the DML operation is for making the changes permanently on database or not. Okay, so the command says commit and rollback. Commit and rollback. Commit is for saving changes permanently. And the rollback is for rolling back those changes to previous state. So roll back to previous state. So that means we make some changes, but I don't want the changes in the database. I want to roll back to the previous state. So the commit is for saving the changes permanently, and the rollback is for rolling back the changes to previous state. So this the TCL is very important because it's handling the data. So I'm making some changes. What is the category of commands we will be using for making the changes in database? What category of commands we will be using for inserting, updating or deleting the data? What category of commands we will be using for making the changes?
DML commands.
DDL?
DML command.
DML command. DML is for insert, update, delete and merge. So after executing your DML commands, we need to make a decision. So do I need to issue a commit or rollback? If you issue a commit after your insert operation, those changes are permanent in the database. If I issue a rollback, that means whatever I inserted, that will be rolled back. Okay. So the commit means what are the pending DML operations will be saved permanently. Rollback means what are the pending, that means I can execute, insert, update, delete and commit. Let's see here. See here I am inserting data, inserting one row, updating 5 rows and delete 10 rows from another table. So these three are the operations. See here I committed. See here. So here I am inserting the 2 rows, inserting and here a commit. So the commit means this change, insert, saved permanently. Okay, this is done, saved permanently. So now insert, update and delete. So these three are three pending operations, these changes, but I did not issue a commit or rollback. Okay, if I issue a rollback, so what is the pending transaction? The delete, update and insert. So the rollback, it rollbacks these three operations only because these three are the pending. Okay, so up to last commit or last rollback. So the commit is for saving the changes permanently. So what are the changes? Up to last rollback or last commit. The rollback is for rolling back to the previous state. What are the total commands? It's a pending transactions. Everybody is clear? Everybody is clear, please? Yes or no?
Yes.
This is very important. Rollback and commits are very important. Everybody is clear? Bhavani, Harita, Kiran, Shravani.
Yes.
Okay, so the commit and the rollback. So the pending transactions. What is the meaning of a pending? Up to the last commit and last rollback. Okay. So now, the second one, who can access my table? So that means I created a table. The owner, the who created the table is the owner of a database. Okay. Who created a table? That means the user through which a table created is the owner of a table. So owner of a table can do any operations on a table. Owner of a table. That means I am the owner. I can do any operations. Okay. So now, if the database can have any number of users, so the database can have any number of users. That means, see here in this example, in this example here left side, I have a HR user, OE user, and a Scott user. These three are the three different users. So one user can access table of another user. One user can access a object from another user. So who can access my table? That means, so I want to control the operations. What are the operations the other users can do? That is nothing but the data control language. So here is for the data DCL. So the DCL stands for the data control language. That means we can control the access privileges, access permissions of an object to another user. So I can grant some operations. See, I am the owner of a table. Okay, other users of my database can insert the data into my table. Okay, let's see. For example, the DCL is for controlling access privileges of database objects or operations on database. For example, I cannot create, so the users I want to create, but I don't have a privilege to create a table. Okay, see here, for example, let's see, I'll show you something. Just don't worry about this create user. See here, a user test. I created a user with a username test. So I created by using the sys account, I created a user. So now I'm creating a connection with the test, and test is ORCL. Okay, so now user created, but this user is trying to connect to a table. See here, lacks a create session privilege. See, he don't have a privilege, permission to connect to a database. Okay, so now grant so I'm granting a create session privilege to test. So now a test can connect. See here, test connected. Okay, see, that means I'm controlling using the data control language, the grant. Using the grant command, I'm granting a permission to user. So the data control. Okay, so let's see. Now I'm creating a table ABC with only one column. Just I want to show you how it will work. See, insufficient privileges. That means, so the test user, he cannot create a table because he don't have a privilege. So using the data control language, controlling the access privileges of a database object or operations on database. Operations on database means connecting to a database, creating a table and everything. So the database object privileges means inserting a data, updating a data, and deleting a data. We can control those operations using a data control operations. Okay, so let's remove this one. This is not required at this moment. And the grant command and the revoke command. The grant command is for granting necessary privileges to user. Is for revoking a privilege from user. is for revoking a privilege. So the grant command is for granting the necessary privileges to user, and the revoke command is for revoking privileges from a user. Everybody is clear? So the data control language. The data control is for the database objects. Okay, the database object is and the database operations. So anything, if you want to do any operation on a database, we need that privilege. If I want to create table, I need a create table privilege. If I want to drop a table, I need a privilege. If I want to create a trigger, I need a privilege. If I want to alter a procedure, I need a privilege. For any operation, we need a privilege. So the privileges can be controlled using a grant and revoke command. Everybody is clear? So finally, we are going to verify the data. Verifying means we can see the data using select command. Select is for getting data from database. Database. We can get the data from database. We can retrieve a data. That select is for retrieving a data from a table. Select command. Since it's a data retrieval is for selecting data from tables. Single tables. Let's make it as a tables. We can use for the tables, views, and everything. Okay, the select command is for selecting data from a table. So these are the 5 categories of a command. Let's see one more time. The DDL, the data definition, is for the database object. Something related to the database objects, like a create database table, alter view, truncate, drop, and rename. Okay, so the DML is for the data manipulation language. We can manipulate the data. What is the meaning of a data manipulation? That means we can insert, update, delete, and merge and insert all. Basically, insert, update, delete. All 3 can be done in a merge statement. So the insert is only inserting data into single table. But insert all is a multi-table insert command. Multi-table means we can insert the data into 2 tables at a time. That is called as a multi-table insert. Okay, the transaction control. The transaction control means we can control the changes. Do you want to save the changes on database permanently or not? Maybe we can accidentally insert the data. So that accident insert operations can be rolled back. Okay, that can be done with the commit and rollback. Commit is to make the changes permanently on database, and rollback is to rolling back the changes to previous state. And the data control language. The data control means the controlling an operations. What and a user. See, the database user. A user, we can have any number of users in a database. We can have any number of users in a database. Each user can have their own set of operations. Some users can create tables. Some users only select. Some users, they can do anything on a database. So those, what are the operations a user can perform on the database can be controlled using the DCL. Operations, what the user can do. So the grant and revoke. Grant is for granting necessary privilege, and revoke is for revoking a permission from a user. So the data retrieval is for getting data from a tables. Everybody is clear?
Yes. Yes.
Anybody have any doubts? Please let me know. Okay, so the DDL is one important point we need to remember is DDL. For DDL command, auto commit on. Auto commit on. That means once you created a table, it saves in the database permanently. We cannot roll back create table. Auto commit on. Auto commit means we cannot roll back. For DML commands, auto commit off. Auto commit off. So DML operation only can be rolled back or committed because auto commit off. So if anybody asks you what is the difference between truncate and delete, what is the difference between a truncate and a delete? Truncate is a DDL, auto commit on. The truncate is also for deleting data, right? See, the deleting all data from a table. Delete is also for deleting data from a table. But once you truncate it, we cannot roll back. Because truncate is a DDL and auto commit on. And delete is the DML auto commit off. We can roll back. Everybody is clear? What is the difference between DDL and DML? Auto commit on and auto commit off. Auto commit on means we cannot roll back on a table. See here, for example. So I am creating a table. Create table ABC. See here. So now I am creating a table. After creating a table, if I use a rollback, so is it going to roll back the table ABC or no? Is it going to roll back the table ABC or no?
No.
No, because auto commit on. Once you created a table, that is saved in the database permanently. But only DML operations can be rolled back. Everybody is clear the different categories of SQL commands and the significance of each command. Any before going into the next one, please let me know immediately. Everybody, please continue. Clear, everybody?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so let's see. Okay, so now, okay, so the database, a database means Oracle database can have any number of users. Okay, any number of users. Each user uniquely identified by its name and the password. Basically, users are two types. One is DBS and another one is a normal user. DBA means that user, he can do any operation on database. He can insert, he can drop, he can do all the operations. The normal users, the operations can be. What are the operations a normal user can do? Operations can be controlled. So what is the language of commands for controlling the database operations?
DCL control.
So can controlled by the DCL commands. So once a user created. So what is the first step of a DBA? By default, system comes Oracle default. By default means whenever you install a database, by default, okay, Oracle installation comes with sys user as DBA. So whenever you installed a Oracle, so that means it creates a user sys with DBA as a privilege. Sys is the DBA basically by default. So I think everybody installed the Oracle on your laptops, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so by default you have installed the Oracle. So whenever you install the Oracle, that comes with a predefined user called sys. That is nothing but a DBA. Okay, so once the DBA, he creates the rest of the users and he grants. So the DBA's main role is, so DBA has so many roles. Okay, remaining users can be created by DBA and he will grant required privileges to users. So the next steps. Okay, so once the DBA, so now the remaining users. So you can have any number of users in a database. Users are of two types, DBA users and the normal users. So with the DBA, he creates the rest of the users in a database and he will grant the required privileges to users. Okay, everybody? Everybody is clear? Everybody is clear, or anybody have any issues? Please let me know.
Yeah, what is sys and while installing there is two different sys and sys data. What is
Sys
this?
and a system, right? So you will
Yeah.
have a sys and a system user.
Okay.
Sys user and a system user. So the sys user is the superset of a system. Okay. The number of privileges a sys can do is more than the system user. The sys user is completely the super user in the database.
Like
He can do anything. Okay. The system is another user with the limited functionality than sys.
oh, okay.
Okay. Let's see. Everybody is clear, or anybody have any other doubts, please? Anybody? Kiran, Santosh, Abhiram, Harita, Shalini, Pranita, Bhavani, Shravani, anybody?
No doubts.
Yeah.
No doubts? Can I continue?
Yes.
So now let's see. Now everybody install the Oracle and everybody have a SQL developer. Let's see, make a connections to the database. Okay, so now I'm disconnecting. Now I'm connecting to the user. Okay, so now let's make a connection first. Connect. Let's see, delete. Okay, so now I want to say I'm not deleting these connections. These are required for my operations. Okay, so now I want to create a new connection. Okay, first thing is go to here, new connection. Now I'm creating a sys user because the sys is the default user that comes with the Oracle. ORCL@localhost. That is the naming convention I am following. Okay, I'm connecting to sys user. Database name is ORCL. Is available on the localhost server. So this can be anything. You can give whatever name you want. Okay, the username. This is my username. Okay, and this is the password. This is the password what you have given during your installation. Oracle. And the host name is your local host, and the port number is the 1521. That is the default port. And SID is XE on your machine because you installed Oracle XE software. That's why give SID as a ORCL. Please try to make a connections while I am in the class. Okay, sys Oracle host name, port number, and SID test. Because sys should be as a sysdba or systopl. The role, the default are sysdba. The user sys should connect to database as sysdba every time. Success, connected. Everybody is clear? Did anybody tried creating a connection to the sys user on your laptops? Okay, one more time is new connection. New connection name can be anything, and the username is sys, and password is the what password you have given during the installation, and host name is your local host. Local host means that's your laptop name or local host, and the port number is the default port that comes with the Oracle with 1521, and SID is a XE. Why I'm saying it is XE is that is the default name for XE software, Oracle Express Edition. For the normal users, ORCL is my database. Okay, everybody? Clear? Did anybody try connecting to the database on your laptops? Okay. So now let's see. Don't worry about this, the drop user, we are going to create again. So now after creating a the sys connection, So now we need to create a user called Scott. We need to create a user called Scott because this is the user we will be using for our practice purpose. Okay, so how to create a Scott user? And we need to create a set of predefined tables. Okay, now after creating a connection, go to File, Open, go to your Oracle XE. Here I am using the app Shaurya, but on your laptops it should be C Oracle XE. Okay, product 1120 DB1 and RDBMS. RDBMS admin scott.sql file. We need to open the scott.sql file. Okay, so now select all and click this run script. This is for executing a single command and this is for executing all commands sequentially. So now here we need to select a connection is a sys. Okay, connection created by, it's executed successfully. So now close this command. Alter user. After creating a user, Scott identified by Tiger. I'm changing the password. Please execute this command because I will explain this command in detail while discussing the alter commands and usernames. And account unlock. Please note down this command. This command needs to be executed from a sys account. Okay, so here sys, please make sure you are executing this from the sys user. Now execute. So alter user Scott altered. Now create a connection to Scott. So now username is Scott. This is the password we used the Tiger, and the role is the default, and save password, and SID is ORCL. Success and connected. So now starting from tomorrow we are going to use this Scott user for our practices until we discuss the create users and all the stuff, because the Scott is the predefined user, that is the test user that comes with a set of predefined tables. If you open the Scott, it contains a predefined tables. We will be practicing all our SQL commands, insert command, update command, everything in this the Scott user. That's why we need to create a connection to Scott. First thing is we need to create a connection to the sys user. So now after that, go to open the scott.sql, open, and here C:/Oracle XE. On your laptops, go to your server, product 1120, database name, and RDBMS, and admin, and then scott.sql. Okay, this is the command. It contains the create tables and it contains a inserting the data into all the tables. So now execute this one. During the execution, select this user. Okay, after creating this user, after completion of this command, execute this command. Alter user Scott identified by Tiger, account unlock. So that means we are changing the password, we are unlocking an account, because so once you created an account in the database side, it is always locked. So now I am unlocking that command. So the alter user is, so this is the user we are altering. Identified by is for changing the password Tiger, and account unlock. If an account is locked, I am unlocking that account. Okay, everybody. Everybody, is it clear?
Yes.
So tomorrow we are going to start with SQL command. Okay. So everybody is clear. Make sure Oracle installation is done, and then open the SQL developer and create a connection. If anybody have any issues in the Oracle installations, and let me know. Everybody is clear with the installation and creating a connections, or anybody have any issues? Anybody have any issues? Yes or no, please. Kiran garu.
Let me know doubts.
Okay. And Abhiram.
It's
Santosh.
clear, sir.
Santosh. Pranita Garu, Shravani Garu, Bhavani, Shalini, Harita. Okay. So today I'm stopping, and tomorrow we are going to start with the select command. The first command we are going to see is a select one. Okay. See you tomorrow. Anybody have any issues, please let me know. If you feel I am explaining a little bit fast, also let me know. Okay. Everybody is clear? Everybody is clear? Yes or no, please?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. See you tomorrow at the same time. Okay.
Okay.
Bye. So please send me the notes. Nobody send it to me notes. Okay. Bye.
Okay. Bye. Tomorrow
Bye.
I'll send you both of these two responses.
నోట్స్ దేని మీద పంపిస్తాను
మీరు ఒక టెక్స్ట్ ప్యాడ్ లో కానీ ఒక ఎంఎస్ వర్డ్ లో కానీ రాసి పంపించండి మొత్తం. నేను చెప్పాను కదా నిన్నటి క్లాసు ఈ రోజు క్లాసు. మళ్ళీ మీకు మొత్తం ఏమర్థమైంది, మీరు ఏమేమి నోట్ చేసుకున్నారు, మీరు అడిషనల్ గా ఏం చదివారు అనే దాని గురించి. ఓకే, జస్ట్ ఐ వాంట్ టు మేక్ షూర్. సి నేను ఇక్కడ ఏ రోజు చెప్పింది ఆ రోజు ఇలా రాస్తున్నాను కదా ఇక్కడ. అంటే నాకు ఎట్ ద ఎండ్ ఆఫ్ ద ట్రైనింగ్ ఐ హ్యావ్ ఎ సింగిల్ ఫైల్ విత్ ఆల్ మై క్లాస్ నోట్స్ కదా. సో అదే విధంగా మీకు కూడా ఉందనుకోండి. సో దట్ విల్ బి హెల్ప్ఫుల్ ఫర్ యువర్ ఇంటర్వ్యూ పాయింట్ ఆఫ్ వ్యూ.
నోట్స్ దగ్గర నోట్స్ పెట్టుకొని నోట్ చేసుకుంటున్నాను.
అది నోట్ చేసుకోండి. నోట్ చేసుకున్నా కూడా మీకు అడిషనల్ గా చదివిన పాయింట్స్ మీకు సాఫ్ట్ కాపీ కూడా ఉందనుకోండి. రేపు మీరు ఆఫీస్ కూడా తీసుకెళ్ళొచ్చు కదా సాఫ్ట్ కాపీ. రిఫరెన్స్ గా సింటాక్స్ కి వాటికి అంతా రెడీగా ఉంటే ఆఫీస్ లో కూడా పెట్టుకోవచ్చు సాఫ్ట్ కాపీని. మీరు ఆఫీస్ లో నోట్బుక్ ఓపెన్ చేసి చేయలేరు కదా మేనేజర్ ముందు. యా, మీరు ఎప్పటికప్పుడు రాసుకున్నారనుకోండి, మీకు ఏదైనా డౌట్ ఉంటే మీకు రెఫరెన్స్ గా ఉంటది. ఏదైనా ఇంటర్వ్యూలో కూడా ఏదైనా ఫోన్ ఇంటర్వ్యూ చేసేటప్పుడు నోట్బుక్ ఓపెన్ చేస్తే వాళ్ళకి వినిపించింది. అలా కాకుండా ఇలా సింగిల్ ఫైల్ ఉందనుకోండి, సింటాక్స్ ఫైండ్ అవుట్ చేయొచ్చు. ఓకే, దట్ ఈస్ వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్. ఎందుకంటే మళ్ళీ మీరు ఒకసారి చదువుకున్న మళ్ళీ ఇక్కడ నోట్ చేసుకుంటారు కదా. సో 1 time రైటింగ్ ఈస్ బెటర్ దెన్ 10 times రీడింగ్. ఓకే, see you tomorrow at the same time, 9:15 to 10:30. And I'm planning to take a class either Sunday or Saturday. Okay, tomorrow we will discuss tomorrow and day after tomorrow. Either we can have a 2 hours class on Sunday or Saturday. So everybody feasible time, we'll discuss the timing in the next class. Okay. Okay sir, bye.
Okay. Bye. Good night.
Good night.